My name is Ewurabena. I got married 30th June 2018. Yes. And what I do a lot of things. So my husband and I run Oasis Studios at Adabraka. I also am the editor-in-chief of a magazine, HR Focus Africa. I work with my husband in a ministry, which is like, well, when you're watering it down, it's like a band. It's called Barry Ministry. And I have a blog that I try to be active on, even though in the past year I haven't. Ewurabenarights.com. It was a private proposal. So I kept telling him, oh, I want a proposal, but I never told him what I wanted. So one day he came over and he said, oh, let's play a game. Let's do treasure hunt. And I was really excited because we had started having conversations with the parents and everything, and it was already beginning to, be stressful. So I thought, oh, this is something fun, something different. We never usually would just watch a movie or something different. So this was something different. So I was very excited. Eventually, he made me go around the whole house. This was my parents' house, around the whole house. So I would get to the first place, and it would be a note that's describing another place, and I'll crack the code and go and look for. So it was really fun. And eventually, I went all the way around the house just to end up in front of a cupboard. And so I looked in the cupboard, and there was a ring box there. So when I saw the ring box, I was like, hey, what's going on? 910. And he was on his knees, and he just proposed. It was just me and him, so it was really meaningful. Usually I sometimes I feel like we miss the whole point. And he said a lot. He was talking about how his life without me, etc. All the flattery words that I needed to hear at that time. So it was really nice. I knew garden was never going to work. I think my sister, who got married 2 years before, wanted a garden wedding, and my dad passed the comments like, with me as your father, I'm not going to walk you down any aisle that's in some garden somewhere. Like, basically, bring your mind home. We're going to do it in a church. As the family, I'm from a Christian home, so that was the vibe I was getting. So I didn't even consider it. Home wedding would have been the engagement, but I was really tired of the trend. I felt like it was just a trend, and there was no need. You're going to make 2 full events of one wedding and spend so much more money. So my husband and I decided that, look, let's be different. We are seeing everybody does engagement at home and then go to do it, but let's just do everything at once. Even so, our families felt like, usually the engagement is like where the families meet. Our families felt like, we are depriving them of that opportunity to get to know themselves. So we did a Thanksgiving worship session the night before, the Friday before, which was just family. So they came and we sang songs, worshipped, did praises, and then we sat down and they were just talking, getting to know each other. The in-laws were just getting to know each other, and then that was it. It was really interesting. The church engagement was, so how usually you have ochiame from each side. For this one, we didn't have ochiames for each side. It was the pastor that sort of emceed the traditional. And when he found out that that's how we wanted, he was really excited, because for him it was a solution for a lot of people, because a lot of people want to get married but they don't have the money, and we have to do engagements, and then we have to do a wedding. The way we did it showed that you didn't have to do anything, and that you had to do what you wanted to do. So he made a lot of noise about it before the wedding day. You do wedding announcements. So he kept saying, you don't want to miss this wedding. It's going to be just like unlike any other, forgetting that we were feeding the people that were coming. So a lot of people came to come and witness that, and it was really eye-opening. I don't know if anybody has done it before, because I'm no longer, I went to my husband's church from there, so I don't know if anybody has done in that church, but it was really interesting. And it was shorter than normal engagements. Engagements, half of it is the MC, the ochiame doing a lot, doing the most. So all of that was just cut out, and it was just stripped down to the necessities. The father, the parents of each side just acknowledged that they're in support, and then they acknowledge that they brought the gifts, and then we received it. And then there was an advice session. So the elders of each side took turns to give us advice. And because it was part of a bigger ceremony, they didn't drag it. They just did what was necessary, what was needful. I think it was very meaningful for us. So what influenced the choice of brands was a little bit of everything. Some of them was cost, some was relationships, some was just their portfolio. So for example, for photography, my husband saw the work of a particular photographer and he said, no, we have to have this guy take our pictures. And I was also bent on having someone who was a brother, who had like a friend who attended a brother, who takes really cool pictures. I was bent on him taking our pictures. So, we decided to split both ways. And because of how we had structured our wedding, it wasn't, when you go and if you reach out to any photographer, you'll see how huge the total sum is if you're doing pre-wedding, engagement, and then white wedding. But because all of it was one, they couldn't charge us, for different days because it's one event at one place. So everything was just sort of reduced. So for feeding, for example, it was like a miracle because the size of our wedding was bigger than we had initially planned. So we needed somebody who was willing to give us sort of slash their prices to half so they can feed the huge number. And my mom was at the hospital one day and somebody just walked up to her that, oh, I used to work with you and you helped me start out my career. You made me discover myself. My mom works in HR. So she was like, oh, she just came to say thank you. And then my mom said, oh, you're welcome. I'm just here thinking about a catering for my daughter's wedding and I'm so flustered. And she was like, oh, I'm a caterer. I cater for you. She also owns a restaurant. So it was really divine. And she just decided to take on the contract, though it was very, very low budget because we had been really slashed. So that was really exciting. So the vendors that we had were photographer, videographer, DJ, decor, and coordinator. Personally, I like to plan things. I'm like, I like to organize events. I know how to do all those things. So I put together a protocol team and I had heads of everything. So we had it handled. So I think the coordinator was just really formality. On the day we realized that we had a cocktail place where they could do asana. We get asana, sobolo, those things. But that was not something that we wanted or we had. It was our parents that organized it. Then we had a drinks vendor as well. Was it really a drinks vendor? I think we just had the drinks. We had the drinks board, and then a caterer. That was it. There was an MC too, but it wasn't a vendor that we reached out to. It was family. Yes. To date, my parents have really been on my neck because, I did an internship with this event organizing company and I wanted them to do my decor and event planning and everything, but the cost was a little high. So my parents were insisting that, let's not do this. Let's not go with them. And I fought to the very last minute where, I just got tired and I said, look, let's just get married. Whatever you want. So eventually, they didn't do the decor and someone else did the decor. So today, my father is always on my neck that, do I even remember how my centerpieces look? And it's so funny because at that time, I was so pissed. I want these centerpieces. I need these, but it's been hilarious because you realize that it's not really that deep. Okay, I'm sorry, but some people may be deep. But in the grand scheme of things, that wedding ceremony was just a minuscule part of the entire marriage ceremony. Wedding day, my husband and I were supposed to sing, and as of the night before, I had a cockroach voice. When you're talking too much, you're stressed. It wasn't a joke. Because that night, my bridesmaids were all like, Ewurabena, keep quiet. Because I kept asking questions. keep quiet, preserve your voice. And in the morning, they went to do a ginger hot water. It wasn't a joke. It was just very scary because I know how my voice sounds when it's gone. And if it's even haunts me to today, if you go and listen to the video online, we just give it to God. But it was a very scary experience because, and my husband left me. We were supposed to do it at a point, but he left me and he made me sing it alone. So the ugliness in my voice came out. But for some reason, when people listen to the song, they are touched. So I think it's a win-win. One real highlight for me, the whole experience, was on the day when I finally got the chance to dance down the aisle. Usually everybody walks down the aisle, but I said no, this is a celebration. I'm a jam my way to that aisle. So I used this song. It is coming from my. It was a really nice experience. It was one of the biggest highlights for me. And then during the ceremony, one thing that was really on my heart that I wanted to have was a worship session, and that went really well as well. So I think that also makes the top 3. And the last highlight I think I have is when the pastor told us beforehand that he won't take long when he's preaching, and he literally preached for less than 5 minutes. That I was shocked. You know, usually I'm waiting for the pastor to get in the zone, and by the time I realized he was done and we were clapping, it was really amazing for me. My husband is a gospel musician, and we are very passionate about the kind of music we listen to and jam to. And we put together a playlist. It was a very exhaustive playlist, you know the type of when you're at a party and like they are eating the cools kind of. There was that. Then there was the jams, like let's dance kind of, the Afro beats. The playlist was fine, I can assure you. We gave it to the DJ way ahead of the wedding day. We called him, have you listened to it? Because he needs to engage the songs to know where to play it, right? So we actually went the extra step to find out, because I like asking a lot of questions. A lot of people see that I'm troublesome when it comes to these things, but it's necessary. So I kept asking him, so you're cool with the music, right? So you know when to play what, if you see the vibe, you can. So I anticipated that he may not have really know the song, so he needs to listen to them. He assured us that everything is under control. So to prove a point that it's possible to jam with clean songs, not vulgar songs, we wanted to do a game night, which was going to be at my parents' house. And after we went to take our exclusives, we got to the game night. We entered the premises and we were met with a vulgar song. It was I'm not even going to mention the song. I'm not going to give it the light of day on this video. But we were just so appalled, because we've given you a playlist, and the playlist is long enough to last for even before we come. So why are you playing this song? So we went inside. Our bridal team, they were trying to calm us down, and we told them that he should change the thing before we come out for the thing to start, because we won't come out and sort of what you're doing. By the time we realized, they had changed it to I remember it was a Sinach gospel song. It was like those slow worship feel, which was completely not what we were asking for. We were mad. We said no, he should take out. So we actually had another playlist on, Apple Music is. So we took our phones and said that, he should just connect our phones and play. I really remember, because my husband he said, look, he should play this playlist. So I think that's what they started doing. And I think one of Alan's groomsmen, another pastor also said, okay, he should come, he should keep his phone. He will use his phone. So eventually, my older brother came to us and said, look, you guys, it's looking like we're not going to be enjoying the night, because the guy, I think the guy wasn't budging. I can't remember what happened, but I remember my brother coming to us and saying that let's go outside, let's just smile at people, say thank you for coming, say hello, and then just leave and go for our wedding nights. And that's what we had to do, because at that point we didn't have the energy to go and be fight. We didn't even engage him physically that night. If I had, he would have really seen that I wasn't happy, but give it to God. One thing I would want to change is having the opportunity to say hello to those who came physically. I realized that a lot of people came, we didn't get to see them because there was a huge number. Let me explain the huge number. So my husband and I decided that we want to honor our parents and let them be very involved in the planning process. If you listen to a lot of the things that a lot of my parents came in. It was, for my family, this was the last wedding, and previously my elder siblings had a very, I want to have an intimate reception, I want just this number, etc. So a lot of, those things when you have a wedding, hey, you didn't invite us, oh, it's not our fault, it's limited. So this time was an opportunity for institution, all the people that were not invited for that one can come for this one. So eventually we just realized that, look, they're very passionate about this their last wedding. They actually said that this is not your wedding, it's our wedding. So let them just have it. Let them just do what they want with it. But there were some things that I wanted to, put my foot on. So eventually we had a guest list of about 1,000 plus. Yes, because we wanted to honor our parents. So a lot of aunties, a lot of uncles, many people that I don't even know. But then also a lot of people that I knew personally that I didn't get to say hello to. The family people, because of they would be closer, I saw them. But then a lot of people that meant a lot to us that would have liked the opportunity to say hello to and say thank you for coming. We didn't get that opportunity because of the large number. What I would like to change is not getting the chance to say hello and not necessarily letting my parents, because I think they were very happy, and in the end we were also very happy. So it was a win-win. So it was a nice experience also watching the video a year later, because we waited for a year to watch the full video, and seeing all these people that came. Oh, this person came, that's so nice. It was nice. So that's just one thing besides changing the DJ. When you're organizing, you're thinking about your wedding day, you're trying to incorporate your friends, your family. You're trying to do a lot of things that hither, like in retrospect, when you're done with it, you may not feel like it's necessary. I know a lot of people that move heaven and earth to have some particular people on their bridal train, but then 3 years after the wedding, they don't have any relationship with them. There's a lot of hula baloo about, the pictures, the videos. What really matters is the foundation of the marriage. And by God's grace, my husband and I had a spiritual covering. Our parents know God. So it's not something that we've experienced in-house. But we see a lot of people missing the point. Marriage is a big issue. The wedding day can be a big issue if you decide to make it a big issue. But I know people who have gone to the courthouse and it's been just as exciting for them. Focus on the foundation. God created the institution of marriage. And if you go about everything and you leave him out, in the end, you'll be lost. Because no matter who you try to involve in the wedding, no matter who your vendors are, no matter what the color scheme is, in the end, when the wedding is done, it's just the two of you, the bride and the groom, the husband and the wife. It's God that makes you a husband. It's God that makes you a wife. If you leave him out of it, I don't know what you will be when the bride and the groom phase ends. When it comes to marriage, one advice I'll give is always be willing to forgive. Always be willing to be humble, and always be willing to be the fool. This is all I know, so I'm really going to bring in the Bible. When you look at scripture, Jesus, the scripture advises us that we should just emulate Christ in everything that we do. The husband is admonished to love his wife as Christ loved the church. If you look at what Jesus did, a whole God came down and came to die for us. That's really being like an otolege. Imagine a king. Let's a chief. Let's do a Akan kingdom. A chief deciding that he's going to come from his stool and go and help somebody clean a gutter, or pay the price for somebody, do the hard time for somebody. That's otolege. So if you're going to water it down, every day what God is asking us to do is to let the other person be the bigger person, or humble yourself, submit to one another. marriage will be easy and fun that way. And as you are doing it, as you are humbling yourself, as you are submitting to each other, it's not easy. It's not a very comfortable process. You see, you can envision Jesus in the garden, crying out to God that let this cup pass over me. It wasn't an easy process to allow them to kill you when you can just kill them like this. Like it's a humbling process, and that is what we need to do so that we would actually become the people that God destined us to be before the framework of the universe. So, bro, humble yourself in a marriage, and you have fun. Thank you.